Can you just give us a like high-level description of the bill, of what it would do? Just be good for video.
So the bill bans members of Congress from buying or selling stocks, buying and selling securities, buying and selling commodities, being in the markets, because the risk of them buying and selling based on non-public information is so high. And so this will penalize members of Congress. They'll have to disgorge their profits. And it also will allow the SEC or the Department of Justice to investigate to see if when they did buy and sell those stocks, they were buying and selling them based on non-public information.
And they would have to divest if they came to office.
If they get elected to Congress, they would have to sell their stocks. Well, this isn't about Congress policing itself. This would be a ban. And so if members of Congress are buying and selling, the SEC could go after them for securities fraud. They could be prosecuted by the Department of Justice. These would be laws that we would have to follow. Supported on a bipartisan basis by many members of the House already. So I'm confident that if this bill is allowed to... So we know that 1 in 3 members of Congress are trading stock. And we know that 1 in 7 are not properly disclosing the stocks that they're buying and selling. We also know that members of Congress have a 17.5% higher return rate than the S&P 500 on their stock trades. And they're just not doing what they're supposed to be doing with disclosing it. So I decided, as many members of Congress have decided, and what Senator Moody has agreed on, is that we should ban it. We should ban members of Congress from buying and selling stocks, because clearly they are not following the rules and they are profiting off the non-public information they have. And the American public deserves to know that their Congress is just working for them, not working to line their own pockets, not working to make a buck. Democrats would love to ban stock trading by not just members of Congress, but all administration, senior administration officials, by the White House, by the president, by the vice president, by the Supreme Court. The perfect bill would be banning it by all people in positions of power and privilege that have non-public information. But there's consensus right now that we should at least start with ourselves, ban it for Congress.
On that note, the president and vice president are left out of this, similarly with the Genius Act, which you supported. Why should the president not be held to the same standard that members of Congress are?
He should be. The president should be held to the same standard. He shouldn't be able to buy and sell stocks. He does have the same disclosure obligations as Congress. He just doesn't have all the ethics requirements of Congress. I would love to be able to pass legislation to ban the president and the vice president from buying and selling stocks, buying and selling crypto. I would love to be able to ban them from being issuers and all the things that we think creates an appearance of conflict of interest, we think violates the Constitution, and we think violates the promise that we make to the American people that we are there to serve them. You don't want even the appearance of impropriety, and what we have right now is certainly the appearance of impropriety, if not downright fraud and corruption. Yeah. So I do think this is a good place to start. I don't think we have to allow the perfect to be the enemy of the good. There's a lot more I would love to put in this bill, but this is a consensus from a bipartisan basis and a consensus between 2 bodies of Congress.
So this is a start. This seems like
it's a good first step. In the same way, 10 years ago, we made the first step of requiring disclosure. Yeah.